This is year 2023. It has been a long time, but today I want to share with you some of the important tax law changes that are happening in 2023 as we speak. 80 billion is going to the IRS. What can you do as a business owner to stay out of the radar? Make sure that your financial statements are properly reconciled to bank statements and credit card statements. Cost segregation is a process that looks at each of the cost components of a property, splits them into several categories to help you accelerate and expedite your depreciation. The R&D credits provide dollar-to-dollar offset against your tax liability, providing extra benefits for company to invest extra dollars in conducting R&D to create, to invent, and to innovate. Is it a bad thing to file an extension? Is it a crime to file an extension? Does it mean that you fail your life if you have to file an extension? Does it cost you extra penalties? If you rush to file your business and personal tax return, the following may happen. Number 1, you may lose your deductions. Number 2, you may overpay in taxes. Number 3, you may increase IRS audit risk. Without profits, your business will run into cash flow issues. Without profits, you cannot sustain your operation. And most importantly, without profits, you cannot pay yourself. There are 2 ways to maximize your auto deductions. One method is the standard mileage method, and the other method is the actual expense method.
So remember, you can always, regardless of what method you use, deduct toll charges and parking fees.
Some experts recently said that the Great Resignation is officially over. As an employer, you need to be flexible and adaptable.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 5,044,748 businesses were started in 2022, but only about 22% will make it past their first year, and 50% of those will fail within the next 5 years. It can take years before you realize a profit. Hence, having a good understanding of your cash flow is imperative so that you do not run out of money. You may have the drive and enthusiasm, but do you have the ability to lead and motivate your team?
Is AI good enough to replace your accountant? Not quite.
AI can be used to gather data and make calculations, but ultimately, it cannot make decisions for you.
1120S is a business tax return for S corporations. An extension to file is also not an extension to pay. If you ever receive an IRS letter, please do not panic, because receiving an IRS letter really does not mean that you commit a crime.
With the current government funding set to expire on September 30th, the need for a new spending plan is crucial to avoid the shuttering of vital federal services. Since if the IRS shuts down alongside the rest of the government, its tax return processing operations may be unavailable. Though failing to pay your taxes can set you back financially, failing to file in the first place usually means a much higher penalty. This penalty is not as severe as the failure to file penalty, but it can still pile up and cause a financial headache. For both penalties, keep in mind that interest will accrue daily. The 1099 NEC is now where you report all non-employee compensation, essentially all the actual payment to your independent contractors.
However, going forward, if you are going to use the same contractors, you will need to remit 24% of backup withholding.
These basic steps are what business owners should consider when preparing for their year-end compliance obligations. Plus, the benefits of preparing such a closing procedure are many. A year goes by so quickly, so you should take some time to think back. But not only should you monitor your financial results, you should also monitor your tax position throughout the year to mitigate any unnecessary surprises.